Rated M for mature.
Hello, everybody! Welcome to... Oh, I screwed it up. Welcome to Interp'd Reality Afterparty, episode 4. I'm rolling with it, okay? I'm rolling with it. I'm joined here today by Major Hawk10, ZeroMan95, and Sweet Cookie 500. Say hello, guys. Hello. Or whatever.
I'm cooking lasagna.
Can you put a little bit of enthusiasm into it?
I just did. I'm cooking lasagna.
Enthusiasm into a vomit. What is that?
What? What? Where'd that come from?
Vomit's enthusiasm.
Since when did we have to puke?
Well, we're gonna have to regurgitate a lot of words in like the next couple of episodes.
Completely uncontrollable.
Yes.
I'm telling you, we're completely uncontrollable.
Oh my
Lads and
goodness.
lassies, this is what happens before every recording. We have to get this out of our system.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
It could be worse. We could have him and Gary here.
Oh, you mean you mean Wolf and Glitch? We're on an after party right now. We don't use character names.
I'm using this in this setting. Okay.
Okay, whatever.
I don't care.
Okay, today we are going to be doing a repeat of what we did in the second after party. Now, Sweet wasn't there, so I'll just do it. It's basically an episode recap, right? But we're cranking it up to past 200% because before we only did episodes 2, 3, and 4. But now I thought we could probably just hammer out episode 5 all the way through to 11. Yeah,
I thought it was in the last one.
Yeah, okay, so the reason why we are stopping at episode 11 for this after party is because, you know, it'll be like a certain gap between the previous one that we did, but also after episode 11, we took like several weeks break from the campaign. So I think that's just a really good point for us to just take a break from the after parties as well, you know, separate them at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah. And Wolf and Glitch are not here, but they have sent some things that they'd like to say to me, so I will bring those up when we get to them. But let's go ahead and start off with actually recapping episode 5, because we didn't do that last time. We were just talking about Bizzy specifically.
Episode 5 was so far back.
Yeah, well, you can always look at the episode summary. So, what did you guys think about that episode? Number 5, Teenage Mutants.
Well, the episode 5 Mutant Sewer, actually.
That was its old title, but we actually changed it before release. Yeah, it's called Teenage Mutants now.
The more you know.
Mm-hmm. Because
my introductory episode.
Yeah. I really wanted to work a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reference into the title.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There was an attempt.
Yeah, it was
I guess.
an attempt.
I remember this being like the first time I was on the edge.
You've always been on the edge, though.
I've been on edge, but this was way off edge for the first time.
Why was it specifically? What was it about it that made you feel that way?
Because I was low on life.
Oh.
Yeah, that is true, because Tipper was on 3 health, wasn't it?
Right, yeah, that was the
I remember.
yeah, that was the big turtle fight.
No. I was fine for that part.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was when you came in, you were 3.
It was previous.
Right, so you were just like full of anxiety the entire time, and I had no idea.
Yeah. I think you didn't realize until like I was trying to heal myself.
Yeah, you in the place with what was it, Greg? Yeah, you used his like dirty syringe.
It's cartridge syringe.
You use this heroin, bro.
I don't know what it is. I haven't written it in here.
Got so lucky.
You were extremely lucky. Like that syringe was probably gonna do like a lot of bad.
I'm pretty sure that was fucking heroin.
Well, I don't have it written down here. Maybe it is.
Pen in D&D.
Yes, yes. Tip of being high on opium.
Oh god damn it!
Karl did a very good job, bloody explaining the situation to the guy.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Because to be honest, I have fucking speech 100,
Yes, but also like you just look like somebody that would be from the United Screaming Eagles. So
not really. I'm wearing like a suit and I look like a Fed, bro. I look like
the Fed like. In this place, people really only think of the feds as either looking like stereotypical police or the comms. You don't look like that. You look like, you could have been a U's member. Like, we don't know what U's members actually wear when they're not in uniform.
So, okay, what did we do afterwards?
So then you were squeezing through the tunnel.
Oh, right, I remember this.
Yeah, you guys kept getting stuck.
Yeah,
and then squeezing through
and then Gary tried to get himself unstuck.
Oh failed. He got a curse that made him glitch all over the place.
Yeah, and then I go in and try to push him, but we both bloody bump out of it.
Yeah, my favorite quote from you is you telling Gary, "I am not touching you ever again."
Yeah, I remember that now.
Like, pretty much.
Wow, okay, that's something that you, like, is that just something internally in your character now? You're just never gonna touch Gary. That's so mean.
It was like, still, it was pretty much, at that moment, it was still, could be worse. And then it did.
Well, my character doesn't know about the curses, right?
Okay, yeah, Nobody really understands curses. Like, I know you guys have been trying in the campaign to, like, find out, what is this, like, does he have a curse or whatever? But, like, curse is a generic term. There isn't really any in-lore explanation right now that explains where these things are coming from, nor is it considered, like, I haven't really thought about it in lore. Maybe there will be at some point, an explanation for them. And then, of course, we got to the interaction between Ambient and Bizzy. Now, I want to specifically talk about Ambient because we talked about Bizzy last time. Sweet.
Yes, I particularly remember.
You want to take the lead here because you know more.
Well, what specifically about Ambient do you really want me to start with?
Oh, I don't know. It could be anything.
Because like, as far as I can really reveal for, like, Bizzy's backstory, which I, guess was sort of, like, really pieced together in the later episodes, which I'll probably touch base more on.
Yeah, and what happens in the trial run as well. That's on the table.
Yeah. I'll go through what happens in the trial run here, basically.
Oh, no, you don't need to. We already did that.
Oh, yeah, we already did that? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, basically, Ambient at this point, as far as I remember back then, he was just sort of making his way through Diodox, to try and clean up his
I'm not
tomfoolery
actually sure what he was doing down there. Like,
he was just there.
Yeah,
what are you doing down there?
He was there. Like, his mess is in town, not Diodox. So it's just strange that he. Yeah, you saw. I remember in the following episode when we did the recap. Was it the recap? I don't know. But at some point, I basically said that, yeah, it was the next episode recap, that Bizzy saw Ambient stepping out of nothing. So he came into the world through Diodox.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I remember that one.
That was like his, I guess that's his like way of trying to, because he can't go directly into town because of the NVG.
Yeah, that's right. I can't wait to talk about that, by the way, for like episode 8.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it
eventually.
Also, okay, the Chronicler. That's another thing we should talk about.
Oh yeah, I don't think we've ever talked about. I don't think you guys have ever talked about the Chronicler.
Oh, we've talked about him in the Afterparty 2, where we talk about episode 2, but this is the first time you're talking about him. What do you have to say?
He very appearance-wise, from the way you make him sound, he very much reminds me of the Monopoly Man, but attitude-wise,
Man.
yeah, he's a fucking mustache, top hat, he's got a cane.
Okay, he doesn't have a mustache. He's got the top hat, steampunk goggles underneath it, then just an empty gap where his mouth is, so you can see the mouth, but it's floating in midair, and then the rest of his body.
Go to jail.
So, go to jail. Move directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
This is a ding-dong adventure.
The Chronicler honestly reminds me of a lot more of a tamer, very at this point, he reminds me of a tamer, much more on your side, Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you don't really know...
Bill Cipher.
Yeah, Bill Cipher, okay. In the actual show, Bill Cipher is more like the chaotic,
Yeah, he's like...
chaotic, outlier. He's the variable that you gotta watch out for, but,
Yeah, he's an all-powerful demon that makes deals. He just is crazy.
My point stands. He's a much more tamer, on your side kind of Bill Cipher, and I say that as of now because I honestly don't know if that's going to change.
Yeah,
whether or not he has ulterior motives, that is entirely up to whatever the fuck happens. And judging from how you're speaking right now, I'm starting to have my guesses. Fuck.
There have been several times where it's been stated that he just repeats what you've already heard, as if it's he thinks it's new information. That's a defining character trait. But I don't know where it's gonna go. I'm writing this as it happens, so we will see where that takes us.
If I recall correctly, I think this was the first time I got a curse.
Yes, it was.
Why is this the episode?
This is the naked curse. Yeah.
Yes, this is the naked curse.
Mm-hmm.
This was the episode I was introduced to, and funnily enough, this was also the episode where Bizzy meets all of the party members, and
they all get
of them
curses.
have curses. All of them have curses. One trips down, the other is just doing whatever the fuck, and the other's doing another whatever the fuck, and then the last one's doing whatever the fuck he's doing.
And then one guy is just frozen.
Yeah,
that's not a curse.
And
he's just frozen.
And I don't think it could have been any better, because Bizzy, as a character, she is very untrusting.
Yeah.
Because of a lot of the shit she went through.
Which makes less sense why you would agree to be in the contract.
Well, think of it like this. She really has no other choice. This is the first time there had been about 4 people, at least one person who was sound enough in mind and body to kind of help her out.
Right,
Everyone else has kind of either manipulated her or have just kind of been having their own kind of shit go down.
Yeah.
And the first impression she gets is, holy fuck, these guys are incompetent.
I'm going to make them competent.
Yeah, good luck with that, Bizzy. You're never going to. You're just going to be as incompetent as them.
Still, it could be worse. And then it did.
How that went.
We're going to hear that so many times.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's the mantra.
And then there was that fight with the turtle thing. I mean, yeah.
I like turtles.
That battle was basically just to space everything out because, if you're going into this location, you got to have a reason to be in there. I don't like to have locations that don't make narratives, don't have narrative implications, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there's always got to be some reason for a location to exist. And in that case, it was blocking off Varia, making sure that you guys didn't go in there because, if you did go in there, maybe you would have found something, but you didn't go in there, and because of that, you fought the turtle.
The big
giant turtle.
Teenage mutant ninja, not so ninja turtle.
Oh, it's not teenage, it's adult. Very much adult.
No, like I said, the not so teenage, not so mutant, not so ninja turtle.
Adult mutant Godzilla turtle.
I can tell you right away.
It's Godzilla.
But due to
when you
international
said-
copyright laws,
when-
it's not Godzilla.
Sorry.
But we should run because it is like it is Godzilla.
I'm so sorry, Zero.
Zero, go on.
when you said that this thing was in a giant acid pool, I immediately said to myself, I need to find high ground.
Yeah,
This thing's
and you
gonna
did.
splash us.
And you did. Yeah, you were right.
And-
you were
And I didn't
right.
say a word.
But you were right. You got out of there just in time. That was
You were-
pretty crazy.
Part 1.
You guys
Yeah.
took care of him, and Gary was actually in dire straits at that point.
Yeah, and Major was holding a rope for no reason.
Yeah, Major, you just completely forgot that you were holding a rope that you dunked in the pool. Goodness.
Senator, I'm not accepting any more questions at this time. But honestly, the fact of the matter is, why would Gary jump in there in the first place when he had a crossbow?
Does he though?
I think he does. I think
No,
Gary
he
has
has
a
bow and
crossbow.
arrow.
Well, same fucking principle. Why would you jump in there when you...
Yeah, that
when
was
you-
it was reckless. I mean, but he got out of there. Actually, guys, speaking of reckless, episode 6.
Oh, yeah.
Episode
Yep,
26.
episode
Red Death. Oh man.
Red Ring of Death.
Red Death Redemption.
Well,
No, that was an episode you specifically said you did not really like because that was like pure improvisation territory. Like you were
yes.
out of your league
I
there.
hated this episode. And actually,
I'm surprised by that.
A note from Glitch here. He wants me to talk about Pulsey and how the location wasn't finished. So I'm gonna go do that right now. But first, you had that moment at the start where I just let you guys talk about your backstories a little bit more.
Our backstories.
Interp'd.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess you can say the backstories back then were up to interpretation.
Oh. Or should I say interpolation? Oh.
Okay, we need to move on.
regardless, it was in our reality.
Okay.
It was our reality.
Mm-mm.
But
We saw.
like, I think that was like. I was gonna say like that. I think as far as I could remember watching back from the episodes prior, that was like the first time everyone really sort of touched based on like where the fuck did they come from?
Yeah, because like
Woo!
we tried that in episode 1, but you guys hadn't really gotten used to it. So it was like, okay, now we're in like a safe space. Let's just air out everything about our backstories. And funny thing about that, Bizzy did not.
Bizzy didn't, but...
No, Bizzy was like, I'm not telling you anything.
And then Karl has to come in and basically say, well, if you don't trust us, then we're not going to do well in battle then, are we?
And he's just like, fine, I'll tell you.
The distrust from the character is just insane.
Yeah.
I mean, in my head, it made sense because it's like
It
the
did
one
make
person
sense,
she
yeah,
really
it
wanted
did.
to
Oh,
trust
yeah,
kind of betrayed
yeah.
her trust.
Yeah.
So, and that's like the
Betrayed.
least of her problems, by the
Forgotten.
way.
Betrayed.
And then,
Forgotten. Abandoned. All in Vorkuta.
oh. And then we saw
you what
Rick
about?
Mort. We saw Rick Mort, huh?
Rick
Yep.
Mort was fun.
Yeah.
All right, Morty.
His name is based on Rick and Morty, but it's also a play on rigor mortis.
I have no idea what that is.
It's what happens to a body after it dies.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, when it decays.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I see. It's a great name.
Wow.
Like this. Rigor mortis is just final stage arthritis.
Pretty much.
You tried to intimidate him.
Like you called him Pickle Rick.
You guys, like, why the fuck are you intimidating this harmless little thing?
Like, the first thing you all jumped to was Rick and Morty. Like, yeah, okay, but whom just, like, invoked it in me. Okay. But yeah, that was.
Then after a while, Bizzy and Karl convinced it.
Yeah, Rick Mort was actually one of the characters that I pre-coordinated with Sweet to be a friend of Bizzy's in this new world. Because like he's the maintenance guy in the sewers, and Bizzy spends a lot of time in the sewers.
I think that's already been established.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all? All right. Let's talk about Pulsey now.
Oh my goodness.
That
This blue piece of fluff.
I very specifically remember Jack saying that he made that character to drive people away from that area.
Yes.
Little did he realize that the one
too.
person with the one character that would not give a fuck and pursue anyway happened to have gone down that direction.
Yeah, that was not the best choice. I created Pulsey to be there and just be like intimidating, but really I should have known better, because like it doesn't matter which character would have come across them. You would have like attacked them anyway. So I think, but regardless, like the problem with this episode is that I only had the bare essentials about this location prepared.
You never built any more.
I never built it. I never built much to it because I wasn't expecting people to go in so soon. But lo and behold, it happened. So I had to make do with what I had. Oh yeah, this is also the part where gets his force duplicating wooden plank.
And the bug catcher lantern.
Yes, but that
the bug catcher lantern.
That wooden plank is annoying me because he uses it all the time. I need to think of a way to get rid of it.
The unfortunate thing to that is, so long as he has one plank to his possession, it's gonna be never ending. So chances are you're gonna be stuck with that for the rest of the campaign.
Oh, there are ways to take care of it.
I remember this part. I gave the idea of the bobsled.
Yes, you guys went down the
bobsled
down the chute.
And then we had a little. We literally had a Red Dead Redemption 2 house building moment, and fucking built ourselves a toboggan / bobsled to basically go down this.
And guess what? We used the duplicate wooden planks to make it.
Yeah.
The duplicating wooden planks have their uses.
You could just make whatever you want out of these planks. Goodness.
Hey, guess what? I know an underwater world filled with incineration.
That's a Sesame Street video game reference.
Not into the pit, it burns.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys went down there, and then I had like a couple of ideas for what could happen down there, and I was basically just going through them, like one after another. So you reunited with Gary, and then you went into like down tunnels, and then I got the checkerboard boulder to chase you.
Tipper had
Tipper had his Indiana Jones moment.
Yep, with an Amiga ball. And then he became Paper Tipper.
Yep.
I practically became paper somehow.
We just rolled with it because it was funny when like Karl
rolled with it.
Karl. And then it was just funny later when Karl turned you into a paper airplane.
But he did the Paper Mario thing. just flew me up there, but then I got stuck after
you were stuck
wait for everyone to get up there. I was crumbled.
Why, like, what was his purpose of throwing you up there? Like, okay, great, he's folded up there. What now?
Well, at least I didn't have to do athletic checks.
Oh yeah, that was it. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
We all have to admit though, it was a good throw.
So yeah, I always had the idea for the monsters in this like Red Planet to be like this unfeeling alien race or whatever. So that's what I pulled off. They're these black octahedrons that look like, they kind of look like glass, but they're sort of rounded, and then they just have these red orbs in the middle that they fire out, and they're like bombs. And they just Yeah, they're just flying.
Freaking, what were they called?
You actually don't know their name
at this point in time.
Yeah, I never, and like even an episode, even later because we're filming this after episode 16. Their name has not been revealed. Yeah.
Okay. We'll not talk about it then.
Yeah. But then you guys got into the it was like the spiral staircases of a ballroom. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was interesting.
Yeah, it was basically I had to just rush along to get you guys to the final confrontation because I really did not want to end the episode in this place.
Oh yeah, I remember this bit.
Yeah, so
this was the bit where we were all running except for, what was it?
Gary and him were fighting off the ones at the bottom of the staircases.
And one by one, we all got shown the stairs, but somehow Bizzy got up there.
Bizzy got up there and you got...
And I ragdolled myself into the Staff of Radiosity.
Yeah, and then it just shined and then you were all out of the incinerator. Just a really...
Yeah, that was insane.
What do you call that? Deus Ex Machina?
Yeah. I remember, and I'm also reading in the Chronicle as well, I ragdoll into Karl, and, tries to punch Gary, but he fails it spectacularly.
You guys were just like...
Gets a curse, he succeeds, but because of the curse, he fails anyway.
And I was just like, please, can we end the session? I just wanted to end... I wanted to stop everything.
I'm pretty sure I just stand there.
Yeah, like, why are you guys... Well, not... I don't know about you guys, but why are Gary and him so set on just, like, inconveniencing things for everybody else? Like...
Well, okay, think of it like this.
Okay, who wants to attack people, and Gary wants to get revenge on them?
I mean, think of it like this. Because Gary is an elf, he's not over the age of 100. As far as I'm aware. So, as far as age goes, as much as he is as far as I remember his character, as much as he is either a teenager or a very young adult,
let's have a look.
He is still a fucking child in terms of maturity in accordance with elven tradition.
Yeah,
elven tradition dictates that if you are over the age of 100, you are considered a mature adult. So anyone younger than that, they are immature children.
Yeah, it says in his background that he is 23 human years, so...
That and him is an actual child. So get those two in a room together and it's children.
Throw them in the ball pit.
Forget that him is like what, 14?
Get in there!
Get in there!
Get in there!
Get out
and
of my car!
Stay in there! And don't you dare take my phone and play games on it.
Oh no,
you're getting no screen time.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm glad that was done because, gosh, I really did not want to keep you guys in there. I just sealed that place off like, nope, you're not getting back in there anymore.
Honestly, bloody and Gary, they were like bloody pelicans or something.
Absolutely.
No, seagulls. Seagulls. Like going, mine.
Yeah.
And by... You're just going, will you please shut up?
Shut up! Okay, all right.
Oh, will you please shut up?
Shut up, SpongeBob,
then
do you mind?
We get to our regularly scheduled programming, episode 7, Feline Feud.
That was when everyone else properly met Ambient for the first time, instead of just a screaming match between him and Bizzy.
Well, okay, we're jumping the gun a bit. We of course obviously have to start with what was it? Whom had a run in with this like ninja character. More like a ninja, says
More
Major.
Like a ninja.
Yeah,
it says Karl. Because I stole that from I stole that from a movie. I can't remember what the movie is called.
What did we do? We left.
You left that
we were
place.
in Bizzy's tent and then left to the main hallway.
To the main hallway.
Yeah.
Bizzy had a PTSD episode.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because that was the same room where she fell into the acid.
Absolutely. Then we had the ninja attack. You tried to chase him down and fled, whatever. I really like that was also like I'm not ready for you guys to see this character yet, so
no, fuck
he's gone.
Whom and me give chase, but I fall in the barrel room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It was fortunate that Hum decided to basically just stop chasing the guy.
I didn't even give chase. I was like,
no, yeah. only me, and gave chase.
Yeah. But then you guys left. You passed by some hazmat person. Didn't really think of it. Actually, no. I want to pause here because Tipper, you said, "Well, that was rude." Like you just you expect people to just say hi to you everywhere, like.
That's what they do back in town.
In town? No, what you mean Gemtown?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You're not in Kansas anymore.
You ain't in Gemtown anymore, boy.
But then you got to Venice Street. Venice Street is just basically shops, and it's only named that because, like, this is a funny story. In primary school, we had to, like, I used to draw comics with some friends. We wanted to say a place name that just sounded so ridiculous that, like, it wouldn't make any sense. And we decided on Venice. I don't know why, but Venice was our choice for, like, the location that is, like, you know how people say, I'm going to send you to the Shadow Realm or whatever? It was like that. I'm going to send you to Venice. I'm going to Venice.
Venice.
So we've got Venice Street, where all the shops are. Gary and Hum actually caught a glimpse of one of the members of the Staps, but they just sort of harassed him. Like, guys, come on.
Those two just... They do some of the most unnecessary crap in these episodes, man.
I mean, like, what do you expect? It is Gary and Hum together. True. It's dumb and dumber.
Yep.
It's just... Could you guys stop?
Yeah. What do you guys think about the blue gecko salesman, though?
I enjoyed him. He was great.
I think that Bizzy didn't.
Really?
Huh?
The blue gecko shop
the
person.
gecko. Oh, I was very fucking wary of the gecko.
Yeah, you thought he was, like, sleazy. That was
my first instance of at least attempting to get the whole gambler, personality trait.
Right, yeah, because your character is kind of like a heart gambler. Like, I mean, it hasn't been explained.
No. Okay, hang on, that's backstory for another time.
Yeah, it's backstory and it hasn't been talked about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, basically, hang on, let me get up my actual character sheet, because it's just like this personality trait. You know how you have, like, folk hero?
Yeah.
What was it, merchant, I guess? All those, like, history?
Yes, backgrounds, they're called. Backgrounds.
Yeah, character backgrounds, that's the one. The one I picked for Bizzy was Gambler, for a very specific reason tied to my backstory.
Yes.
But, that's neither here nor there, at least for now.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah,
that is neither here nor there.
You were, like, skeptical of this guy. I was trying my damn hardest to prove that he was innocent. And it just
innocent,
like,
I'm just like, suspicious.
It just, yeah, you go. I don't think I could ever persuade you guys about something.
If I recall correctly, this is the same shop that I got the Excalibur
yes.
QP from.
And the EP, yeah.
Oh, I said QP.
QP? Like, the Cupid, a Cupid EP or something? Oh no, let's not go there.
No.
And then the
that is just effing horrible.
Actually, wait.
Oh,
I think bought me one of those.
Yeah, you didn't have enough money.
Because he stole my money originally.
You didn't have enough money for the Excalibur.
He also sold a bunch of his fucking blanks, I remember as well.
Oh, he only sold one.
Infinite money.
No, not infinite money. That's not how the economy works. Also, the rabbit person, Dwyla.
I really wanted to help her, but, majority rules and all that.
As a DM, I was like, please don't go there. They don't need help. I want you guys to do something else.
I was about to say, when we were going there, I was like, oh, deja vu.
Yeah, like, as a dungeon master, I have to do this all the time, where, like, there are certain times where I want to trick the adventurers and to just say something that's not true, but then there are other times where I really desperately want to tell the truth and they're just not letting me. That was the case here, where it was like, I can take care of it, please don't come, please no.
Okay, what did we do afterwards?
The Undertaker.
Yep.
Right, it was this part.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the fucking SCP thing.
You can't.
SCP,
I hate.
SCP-106.
I hate that SCP is something that you guys just think of first of all.
Here's the thing with
It's
this
a big
part.
fucking black, creepy, gooey monster. Of course we're gonna think SCP.
I'm trying to remember how this went, because I think all of you ran off without me, and I was just walking normally, I think.
Everyone couldn't run, and then one by one everyone was losing interest, and you had to get Tipper to notice he was being stalked, and that was the only way to make the Undertaker disappear.
And the funniest part, I was trying to just act as natural as possible without knowing what the heck was going on.
and Bizzy was just going, Tipper!
Tipper!
He was screaming out, turn around!
Insert Breaking Bad meme here.
Oh, yeah.
That was such an interesting part of that episode.
Yeah, I should do more things like that, of just like esoteric enemies that require novel approaches to taking them out. Because like, sure, we've had encounters, like the centipedes, which I will get to eventually.
And here's the thing, I almost got taken.
Yeah.
It was
you were
really
very close. And if you did taken, it would have been another episode 6 situation where I would have had nothing. Like I would have been in the dark.
Oh, bye-bye Tipper. There he goes.
Yeah,
Bon voyage.
he's just gone for the
Once
rest of the
an idea
episode.
comes
Oh
around.
no. But yeah, anyway, you guys
hero.
went around and you got the chance to talk to Ambient again. And I think this is the longest conversation that ever happened in the history of this campaign, just talking to
oh my
Ambient.
god, it just went on for so long.
Like, I understand now why why Zero pretty much rushed it completely, but in saying that as well, the way he just, like, it just worked perfectly.
Oh, you mean Gary?
Gary.
Why'd you say Zero?
The way Zero was like, I said Zero because Zero himself, I think, was just getting really fed up, so he made his character really fed up. You know, that kind of domino effect tie-in.
Oh. No, I thought he was, like, sweet. He was hugging Ambient, and then Ambient was like,
yeah,
ugh.
I remember now.
Ambient didn't like it.
Gary was sweet, and then he ended up getting
I'm a
bored.
caring soldier, goddammit.
Gary got bored out of his mind. The problem was that you guys kept misinterpreting what Ambient was saying. Like,
keep in mind, like,
I know it's hard to understand what he says, but like there was several points where it was like Ambient was just clarifying what he had already said.
I mean, you had someone that basically lost all trust in him, and then you have like 4 different strangers that are like, we really don't know what to make of you, so we'll just trust someone else's judgment for the most part.
Oh, yeah, I get that. I totally get that. Like, yeah, all of you basically just agreed to hell with Ambient. But, like, it was so hard. You were having so much trouble listening to what he was saying, and you just kept, like, misunderstanding things he was saying, so it was just an Ouroboros of, Ambient just correcting all of you, like, but that was funny. And then, like, to top it all off, Gary was like, come with me, and he's like, no!
Gary was just fed up with constant arguing. He just dragged everyone into
including Ambient, and Ambient had already said he was going to get shot, and that's exactly what happened.
We all got shot.
Instead of him getting shot, we all got shot.
Yeah, because he's used to it. Oh,
and then so we get shot, and then like
I put this all on you.
Yeah, and then Gary's like, in my defense, and I'm like, there's no defense.
There is no defense,
motherfucker. I took a bullet for you.
We took a plasma round to the chest. I don't think there's any defense for you.
And before we move on to episode 8, which takes place in the same location, Glitch has another thing that he'd like to say at this point, which is he hates the lieutenant. And
oh yeah,
okay, of course you do. At this point, it's like Glitch just hates every like military authority figure. So he hates General
everything,
Rada,
including his friend.
He hates the lieutenant. And yeah, his name is Lieutenant Maximilian. So yeah, but like he just hates all of the military leaders. And like, why? Like, it's just I get that they're commanding, but they're not all bad.
I'm trying so hard to not make a Ratchet and Clank free quote.
No, okay, no. I go ahead because I specifically named the character to invoke that. So do it right now.
I'm trying to remember the lines.
What was it? No, chase Maximilian out of the bar.
We're trying to make it look real, all right?
Okay, and then it was showtime, because guess what happened in episode 9? That crazy pilot dude with the whacked out
Episode
face.
9?
Sorry, episode 8. I'm jumping forward. Episode 8, the pilot with the crazy face.
We went into a fight then, that was fun.
Yeah. And also it was, I think this fight was one where I was like, I gotta give people curses.
Oh yeah.
And
everybody got a curse, but somehow gets free.
Yeah, and actually, forgot about one of his curses. One of his ones was that was a tripping one. He didn't end up doing it in that episode. So, for the people watching in the audience, you'll see that later. There'll be a certain point where you'll see that trip curse take effect. But yeah, Bizzy and Tipper had the best curses in this episode. Bizzy was...
I'm not sure whether to be happy or just...
You should be happy. It was hilarious. Bizzy was advertising interp'd reality.
Well,
And
I can tell you, I think I was at my most uncomfortable of the episodes here.
You were a noir detective. See?
Yeah.
Come on, it's funny. And you don't have to do it ever again. But yeah, that was... honestly, that was just so much fun.
And worst part was I couldn't do stereotypes.
Well,
honestly, yeah, I can't do stereotypes.
Well, guess what? It ended up being something else, so that's fine. Like, it doesn't have to go the way I want it to. It could be something else. It's all good. And of course, I always plan for Wilson to die here.
Wilson!
Always. I knew that Wilson was going to die because it was a Castaway reference. It's like...
Wilson!
Yeah, I just wanted Wilson to die.
You just said to us that his head got completely sliced off.
Yeah, he got decapitated. Mm-hmm.
Fatality.
I thought that was the best attack that would deal that kind of damage. It would just look awesome seeing that guy. Well,
Bizzy's curse was really good.
This sounds really bad as a DM saying that it would look awesome for a guy to get decapitated, because to all of you it would have been traumatizing.
I'm pretty sure a jaw drop will be crazy.
Yeah.
Or old Wilson got the French treatment of decapitation.
Mm-hmm. And then you managed to kill the pilot eventually.
I got surrounded by a great wall of fire.
Yeah, there was fire everywhere. That was Bizzy's fire.
I fell into
Good thing I
fire.
said that nobody would get hurt by it, because that would have been weird.
I would have been charred.
Yeah. But what we then moved on to was... Yeah, you guys moved on. You organized for a funeral to happen. And then you moved on into Chris's enclosure.
Which bit was that?
It was the con that was a little kid and he was yelling at you. You were stealing his stuff.
Oh, right.
You stole his toy plush, yeah.
Which I still haven't yet used.
I remember now.
No, you haven't. Even okay, kind of spoiler territory, but even in episode 16, Bizzy has not used that yet. So
yep.
Yeah, like
there'll be an opportunity.
You guys have so many inventory items that it's just like, oh, what do I use?
So many inventory items, say.
Mm-hmm.
The vape pen was definitely something.
Yeah, and like your character hasn't used that either.
Who else got what?
No, that was it. It was just Gary got a plastic sword, Bizzy got the slime plush, and Tipper got the vape pen. And then
I pulled a gun on a child.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chris, what would... Okay, I don't even know what pulling a gun would do on a comm. Like...
That would be basically one of the darkest moments because you are literally pulling a gun on a child.
Yeah, well, okay, so he is the brain of a child. He deserves it, but he is the brain of a child. Like, it's a moral dilemma that we really are only able to entertain because this is fictional.
Okay, and then afterwards, I believe we went into a building, I believe?
Yes, you went into Sung Wukong's building.
Oh, yeah.
He was here.
Sentient pipes.
Yeah, okay, not that yet. Let's talk about Sung Wukong, actually, because this is a character that Tipper has seen before, but has never actually shown up. I'll just describe what I have in my notes here. Sung Wukong has the appearance of, like, an orange-furred... how do you say this? Macaque monkey? M-A-C-A-Q-U-E?
McClunky.
Macau? I don't know. But it's something. He's more humanoid than the monkeys that you guys find in episode 11. So it's sort of like just a human that has the monkey fur, right?
Yeah.
He's sort of like the leader of like a band of these people that wear colorful shirts, and it's not really clear like what they are. It's not a cult because he's just like, he's not even doing anything religious. He's just like, he's more like a politician maybe, but he doesn't actually do any politics work. So I don't even know. But yeah, he rode around on this parade float, and this is the building that parade float was stored in.
He's just a rich guy. Okay, so
rich guy. I don't know about that.
You're a rich monkey.
I don't know how he's rich. But yeah, the highlight of being in this building was definitely Karl and Bizzy finally having a proper introduction to the Staps.
The Staps.
Yeah.
And it was a better response than what Gary.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I planned for the Staps to come into the building. This conversation that you guys had with what is it, Sinker and Metal Pipe.
Oh my god, that was like one of the best jokes I made.
This was so there was a meme that Sweet Cookie made that I haven't really like. I don't know where it is.
I remember the image. I remember.
Yeah.
I just want you guys to explain it. I want you to explain it to everybody.
Okay, so basically what it is that so when Bizzy and I walked down into the area where the Staps were, what happened was Bizzy made the joke of, at least metal pole isn't used as like a stripper pole, I believe.
Right.
And in reality, I could not stop laughing. It was so funny.
And
the meme... Metal Pipe was like, at least I won't, I'd probably be used in construction. And I'm like, no, you sweet benevolent child, you should not have mentioned that to me. Because my first immediate thought was...
The meme...
My first immediate thought with a metal pole being like, at least I'm only used in construction was... Yeah, stripper pole, pole dancing, shall I go on?
The meme was, I remember this now, it was basically Bizzy and Karl trying to hold back laughter as you see, like, the pipe and the sink, but in their head, it shows a copy of that, but there's, like, a high heel on the pole.
Oh, I found it.
Oh, you did?
Repost it.
Put it in the actual memes channel.
I'll forward it to you there.
Yeah. Because that was like one of the funniest things I'd drawn.
Send. There you go. That should have sent.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yep, that one right there.
Oh no.
There you go.
Well, actually, you know what? This is going to go in the community posts for this after party, probably. Because people will want to know.
When?
Thank goodness I found it.
People will want to know. But anyway. Yeah, so you talked with them, and besides the stripper pole comparison, basically reinforcing the idea of this character called Thule. Thule. Yeah, so I will tell you, and this is the inspiration for the Staps. They are based on Battle for Dream Island. That silence indicates to me that none of you have heard of that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so Battle for Dream Island is a series on YouTube about inanimate objects with faces and whatnot.
Oh, I've seen this actually.
Yeah, and they compete
My little brother watches this.
They compete in competitions, yes.
He even has a desktop picture of all the characters.
Oh.
Guys, it's Prop Hunt.
Yeah, so it's like if you take Battle for Dream Island and then you make it Prop Hunt, that's what the stats are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering what that was actually called, because I've seen it all the time from him.
Yeah. You actually got the chance to keep talking to them in episode 9. So,
Yeah, that's right.
It was just more of the same, really. You were just talking about what was what was on the minds of the clan.
They were all just everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because
I thought I made my character think it was a poltergeist.
Yeah, somebody did. Yeah, ghosts controlling these things.
Poltergeist?
Yeah,
in Skyrim.
I will say the final piece.
Okay, continue.
So yeah, we went to the Awesome Fort. A couple of characters there that are pretty interesting. Botsy, the female robot that mans the reception desk.
I drew her. I remember.
Huh?
Yep, and yeah. You drew her. And...
Yeah. That I posted that. On the channel. Yeah.
That was the first image as well.
Bizzy and I absolutely hated that character for different reasons.
This is the first time I'm hearing that.
No. Okay, so I hated Butsy because it was like, oh, this is annoying. Like, contract pulling. Like you're printing out a contract.
Yeah.
Due to my backstory, that's like, fuck you.
And then
and meanwhile, Karl was anti-establishment terrorism.
Obscene printing noises.
So yeah, that happened.
The character in the corner is just so confused.
Yeah, Gary became an awesome
gamer. Know about technology.
Gary became an awesome gamers member. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Also, some other characters that were here. There was a red-dressed police officer that Karl talked to, getting more information about what Thule does. And then
there's also the bit where I talked with the controller mascot.
Champ, the controller mascot. That's right. The whole point of that character was to make him as uncomfortable to talk to as possible.
Somehow I didn't make it that
you got along with him. You got along with him.
I got along with a controller.
Oh man. I think you might have your mind changed the next time you meet him. I don't know. Yeah, Gary and Bizzy at this point would talk to Phi 7. That guy's name is in no way related to mine, Jack 5. Not related. It's something else I just thought of. But he's basically the leader of the clan. I'll tell you what he's based on. He's based on like those people on Steam that have really high levels and do giveaways.
Oh yeah.
It's like the natural consequence of what would happen if somebody like that was subject to the critical crash. So he's like the clan leader because he did these giveaways, and he just has to put up with it.
Isn't this the bit where Gary showed the guy his crystal?
Yeah, look, that crystal, I genuinely don't have an explanation for it right now, and I'm trying to communicate to Gary through every conversation that I have as a dungeon master. Please wait until we get to Train Hell. I can't answer any of your questions. Oh dear.
We might need to go there next, but I
don't know. We don't know what will happen. But yeah,
we don't know. You might do.
Phi 7 was actually the first time that you guys properly got a mission.
At that point, I think we were all just sort of wandering around, just trying to figure out what we needed to do, while also actually doing what we needed to do for the most part. But now we actually had like an actual objective.
That's right. Yeah. And it might take a while before you actually achieve it, because it's a pretty long one. He's basically saying just help people.
Help people.
We're still doing that objective.
You are actually. But it's also like a multi-stage one. So like you do one thing and he'll be like, "Oh, good on you. Here's a recommendation of what you could do next." It's that kind of thing.
Oh, is he gonna be fucking? What's his name from Fallout 4? Is he gonna be fucking?
Look, I don't know, because although I've played Fallout 4, I stopped playing it because I got bored. So I don't know.
Hold on, give me a second.
He's not going to be like just a quest giver. He's actually going to have some purpose. Like there's no way I'm going to make a character that's just a quest giver. That would
Preston Garvey. He's going to be like Preston Garvey. Okay.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't do that. That's inhumane. Why would I make a character a quest giver? Anyway, so yeah, that happened. Well, before you guys got to the funeral, you had to fight those centipedes.
Yep.
Dude, those centipedes were crazy.
And then this is a part where Bizzy first heard the tape.
Okay, wait. But before we get there, I just realized I skipped over something extremely important in this episode, the contradiction. You guys remember that? When I said that Bizzy came from the prison?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. I remember that. That was like an oopsies moment.
Mm-hmm. And it's been continually incorporated in episode 11. I incorporated it as like a vision that you had.
Yeah, I think we'll cover that when we get to episode 11 more specifically.
Yeah, sure. Okay, all right.
It's like that
Centipedes.
little oopsie.
Yeah, little oopsie that now I have to factor into the story. Okay, centipedes, yeah.
The centipedes. Tell me. Tell them. Tell them.
I just think of the stupid Knife Party song of like, you know,
tell them how you made the centipedes.
Centipede. Okay, I will. So, the centipedes are actually based on what the logic relay entity looks like in the Hammer editor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, some of you haven't used the Hammer editor. It's the behind-the-scenes thing that Valve maps are made from, like Valve game maps.
Hammer editor, it's just a map editor.
Yeah. So you take all these blue cubes from the icon, you stitch them together, and then you put like pyramids on the side. Now, I'm colorblind. The diamond in the icon is green, and I made the pyramids yellow, but who cares?
They look just as good green anyway. But yeah, those centipedes were definitely something.
So you fought those, and a sort of a bad trait about the the enemies that you've been fighting in these at this point in the game is that I would make them drop like random things that are kind of useless. What you guys really need is money, and I can never bring myself to give money to any of these enemies.
Incorporated.
Yeah, it's so hard.
Hey, you would never know. A centipede might have mugged a guy before he bit his head off.
I don't know. But anyway, Gary. So Gary fell in love with his bagpipe as well. So that was a thing.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, but it just sort of happened. And then
Bizzy
still
hasn't used that thing, by the way.
Oh no, he did in episode 8 when after he fought the pilot, when all of you were mourning Wilson, he was playing on his bagpipe, and him was like, he was blind, yeah, and he was trying to steal the bagpipe from Gary because he was annoyed by the noise. But anyway,
I cannot see. I'm legally blind.
Yeah. Now, the tape and Bizzy.
The Angelus truth.
Yeah.
I think, like, if anything, that was, like, the most intense I had ever been in a voice call with any of you guys.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, in the original recording, you say shut up so many times, because I had, like, lots of speech prepared, and you just kept saying it, and I'm like, okay, that's not going to scan well in the final edited version, so I cut down the length of the speech. there was too much of shut up.
Get out of my head.
Yeah, pretty much. I had a plan, and I might have gone a bit overboard with the whole shut up
You
stuff.
had a plan?
It's fine. You had a plan.
I had a plan. It was called being dramatic.
Yeah.
But that was fun.
And I mean, that's a natural thing to do in a D&D session.
Remember when after you fought the pilot, Major turned off the tape, and I was like, I'm so disappointed that you didn't roll high because Bizzy doesn't get to experience it. And then I was like, I'm not telling you anything. Well, guess what? You ended up experiencing it here.
Because he pulled out the tape.
Yeah.
Dude, that tape was cursed.
I know.
It was blessed.
It was never blurst. It was just cursed. Kill it with fire.
It was
completely fine.
No, it was durst.
Durst.
How did it work for all of us? Because I think for him, it was completely fine.
No. So
how did it work?
So how it works is when it does its like manipulation thing, it has two modes. It's either talking to you or you hear lots of screaming. So the person it wants to influence hears the voice, and everyone that could potentially stop it hears the screaming, if that makes sense.
Right.
That's
why it all happened.
That's the idea behind it. Yeah.
So it talks to one person, but it just screeches at everyone else.
Yes, that's correct.
Right.
And then the funeral.
Funeral.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember this.
This funeral.
I remember you had a fucking struggle re-recording the funeral because you were mumbling.
No, actually, the funeral was the easiest part because, okay, so a thing about episode 9, Steam was set to automatically adjust my microphone volume, and OBS was set to mute the audio if my volume got too low. So basically, it would mute everything I said that was really quiet. And so I basically had to play Chinese whispers with myself in order to construct a new take in order to put into the finished episode 9 recording.
That's what it was.
Yeah, but the funeral was easy because I scripted the entire thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I could just read from the script, so no problems there. Now, of course, I have to talk about Chaplain Angeles. He he read an excerpt of Das Kapital, but that was slightly modified to sound religious. This was a conversation that me and Major were having, where it was like, I asked him out of the blue, what is a communist text that could be interpreted as sounding religious? And he told me, like, Das Kapital. So I was like, okay,
it was Das Kapital, the Communist Manifesto.
Yeah. And I looked at them and I was like, okay, I think that I could work with Das Kapital. That makes the most sense. But I did have to change some words.
The funniest thing is Das Kapital is actually it's about the economics of communism. And the economics of and how terrible the economics of capitalism is.
Yeah. You know like how there's different translations of the Bible? Imagine Chaplain Angeles' translation being like a terribly misinformed translation. Like so badly translated because of personal religious bias. You get me?
So like in America.
Yeah, but I did say that he's like an American preacher. Yeah, but he's not as like bombastic as the guy that was led the people out of the prison.
Yeah.
Not as bad as that. So I actually would like to see Chaplain Angeles again at some point. Yeah, because he's interesting. Just having sort of like a semi-sane religious figure, not off the walls crazy. That's the thing about the New Vegas group. They are tough, but deep down they're actually just pretty chill guys.
They're pretty calm.
Yeah.
Until they shoot.
Yeah. Until they shoot.
That's the reality of everything.
Yeah, true.
They're cute until they go boom.
Speaking of boom, episode 10. Episode 10.
Oh, yes.
Bombastic.
Wasn't that the episode where rolled a nat 20 and finding a fucking spring onion?
He did.
Freaking spring onions.
He rolled a natural
spring
20, which made him find a spring onion randomly in the plains of Trans-Tundra. I had to honor it because it was a nat 20. And, like, everyone was just, like, criticizing him the whole time. Like, why did you do that? That's the thing that you get a nat 20 on?
How did you do that?
Out of all the things you do with that nat 20, you went and found a spring onion.
Yeah,
in
and
the
guess
middle
what?
of
It was
nowhere.
stolen by the freaking fast food owners.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
They just took it. And they were going to use it as like an ingredient for some food, but then the place burned down. The whole reason that the place burned down is because Whom was ignoring that kid. I specifically designed that character where he was his order would get wrong, and then he would go back and like cry out for it to be changed, and if he got too loud, he would explode.
And then he exploded. And
he went kaboom.
Yeah.
He comes back to where we were, which was in a nightclub.
Oh yeah, actually, before we get to the nightclub, what do you guys think about the what was it? It was the cat. Aristocratic sort of
we never
cat.
got her name.
No, you did not.
We never got her name.
No.
Is it the cat that escorted us?
Yes, yeah, she was taking you to the nightclub, yeah.
The Trans-Tundra nightclub.
It was sort of like she just wanted a break from the funeral. She wanted to lift her spirits, basically. And unfortunately, you guys got super sidetracked and you never really got any information out of her. Well, that would be because also you were drunk, so that would have contributed.
Okay, I don't... You see, when the drink is there, the drink is on, okay?
Yeah.
It's beer o'clock.
Oh, right. No, that's much later.
Mm-hmm.
And I got drunk. I think I got drunk because I missaid a word, and then Jack just went, "Oh, now you're drunk," and I'm like, "Fuck." Okay, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Welcome to Alcoholville.
Tipper was communicating in sign language to one of these flower ladies, right?
Yeah, the sign language.
Yeah.
Finally got you.
Yeah, and she was basically saying, "Come outside the nightclub, go into these side rooms. It's a bit crowded in here, you know."
At first, I said no.
Yeah,
because I wanted to stay with my team.
That's right, but then everyone was like, no, Bizzy was like, we got to get Karl out of here. So you ended up agreeing, which was actually a bad choice. It was a bad choice because she turned out to be an enemy.
I claim no responsibility
for that.
Sunflower.
Yeah.
And then for some some odd reason, during that battle,
you were getting big hits. I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah. I was getting successful hits. I even did the, the Johnny Cage, the, his knockout in Mortal Kombat 1, the remastered one. And I just fucking hit one, and since my character doesn't have a lot of strength, gets a 2. It was a 2 every single time. Every time I punched someone,
that would be explained by you being drunk. Yes,
I do also remember that the same kind of creature, but it was a rose and dandelion.
Yes, that's correct. There were 3 different flower ladies, and like how they work is that basically they just look like Hold on, I'm actually going to look at the article because I have a description of what they look like.
There's a description?
Yeah, well, so they wear these black pattern dresses and they all wear identical masks, but coming out of the sides of the mask, which is actually part of their body, are the petals of the flower that they represent. You would see this same, like, I think it's like a bronzish mask with these slits on them that constitute eyes and mouth, but they look weird. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this was another part. Gary would rush in after Bizzy accidentally set the door on fire.
Yeah. Well,
the freaking fire on the door.
Yeah, you set the door on fire.
I claim no responsibility to that either.
No wonder why the people left.
Actually, you know what? Let's move on to the next episode because I have to tell you something. They didn't leave because of them.
Right.
The thing about those flower ladies, the reason that they take people out back and then kill them is like a subversion of what you would normally expect when somebody takes you out back. Because it's like, you get what you deserve because you came out here. That's the idea. But no. Everyone fled because there was a comm there now.
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, before we talk about him, this episode, Glitch actually couldn't show up. He was busy out doing something, sort of like what's happening here. But in this case, I basically put it into the story that he like ran out of the nightclub, jumped out of a glass window.
No monkeying around.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Back on topic with the comm. Hey.
Yeah.
I will quickly say before you go to comm, I remember one of the funniest like I guess visual quote unquote gags that happened with Bizzy's transformation. Because I remember specifically, we were desperately hoping I ended up turning into full tiefling just so I could smack Karl up on the head.
Right.
Yep.
That was absolutely hilarious.
But you got 2.
And then we were like, fuck it, let's just make it a 4 anyway. Because we really wanted it to happen. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that as well. Yeah, it was.
I got it 2, but we were like, fuck it, let's have it happen anyway. Let's make it a 4.
I don't remember this.
That was the only time we went against the dice roll for
okay, I am going... that's not in my notes. This is actually something that I have to write down.
Seriously? I thought...
No, because I started documenting your form after the fact. Like, I realized that I actually needed to keep track of it. Actually, wait. So... No, you acquired a curse that basically made you long-sighted.
That was like after the fact. Because I re-rolled again for that 4. That's what it happened.
Oh, it was for a curse. Okay.
It was for because I re-rolled the transformation dice because it ended up being a 2, but I really wanted the smack on the head to happen, so I re-rolled for a curse, and it ended up happening.
Sure. So this comm was just a fat guy. I wanted him to be like the most gluttonous one there is. And it was also your guys' introduction to the novelist.
Yes.
The novelist is basically just like an alternative of the chronicler, but in his case, he just wants to be drunk. He wants to be drunk. He wants to get wasted. No. He actually says that in episode 11.
Oh. He did end up going to the bar, if I remember correctly.
If I recall correctly, the novelist came in to actually show us a new direction.
Okay, no. The novelist came in at first because he wanted to get drunk, and then he realized that there was no party happening, and he's like, I guess I can't get drunk. Because he wants to just blend in, so you know what I mean? Like, just get lost in it. So...
Go find the bar, dude. You can do it yourself. There's nobody there.
Because he was sober, he basically decided to just begrudgingly give you all advice, and he's like, okay, so this is what you've been told by like the awesome gamers. I think you gave him that advice, and he's like, well, you might want to go out and check out the monkeys at Totem Coast. So then you followed his advice, and there was this little scamp. There was a character that showed up, and he was really trying to hand out this like pamphlet.
I remember this.
And nobody wanted it, and he was like, I had to settle with Tipper because Tipper was the only one that would be like naive enough to take it.
Pretty much.
I was trying to do it in a way that would be like not attract attention, but unfortunately it's just impossible not to attract attention with that guy.
Yeah, so I took it, but then immediately, whom and Bizzy just decided to want to throw it away.
Yeah, they were like, please throw it out, and you're like, no, I'm gonna keep it.
No.
See, I had my reasons, but that's spoiler territory, so I had my reasons.
It could be useful.
Also, you had this was the point where you had the vision about breaking out of prison, which was false.
Yep.
And after that, you got to the coast, and honestly, I think the entrance into Totem Coast was so funny because, like, you're basically getting cuffed by the feet, and you were all just like prepared to fight.
I didn't know what was going on because, again, I didn't get the information from the forum.
No, everyone wanted to. Everyone wanted to. Like,
everyone wanted to.
Yeah,
okay.
it wouldn't have helped you even if you knew, because, like, as a dungeon master, I was like, I don't want you guys to fight, so I'm going to basically lock your feet into the ground. And yeah, that happened.
And then, if I recall correctly, one by one, we all got taken away to different spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was screeching my fucking head off. That was funny. It was, I love that.
Mm-hmm. Tipper was actually the one that was spoken to. Like, the monkeys seemed to be more interested in talking to Tipper specifically.
They hated me.
Oh yeah, because you're
because
human.
They saw you as a colonist.
Yeah. You see that this monkey clan is based on some of our Australian history. It's not a nice history to go over because some terrible things happened, but it would give reason for why these capuchin monkeys would be so hostile towards humans.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But eventually they sort of softened up and brought you all together, except Karl. They did not bring Karl over.
They just despised Karl.
Yes, yeah, because you look like a colonist. That's why.
I'm not a colonist.
I know you're not, but you look like one.
No. See, it's
colonists and communists have the same first letter.
Okay. You're gonna make me triggered.
I will say though, Major, that although you have contributed to this campaign quite a bit with your reliance on historical facts and just being sort of a gentleman in that respect, there are also parts of the campaign that are specifically designed to thwart you for that.
Yeah.
Lads and lassies, if no one has ever realized it yet, Karl is a reference to a very certain political leader of our past.
And it's not Karl Marx.
It's not even Karl Marx.
I know, it's not. It's not.
I thought he was named after Karl Marx.
It's a different Karl. A different Karl.
Oh, god damn it. There's always more than one Karl.
Anyway, something I want to talk about the monkeys was so funny is that the guy that was on the throne, I think his name is said in this episode, Kennek.
That's how you pronounce his name.
They would pick up his throne and just turn him around and then put him down again.
I love that.
It's just
that was just so cool.
It's like, what? Like, you could just turn your neck, right? No,
it was so cool, but it was so unnecessary.
I want my servants to pick me up and turn me around.
See, oh wait, that reminds me. Oh, what does that remind me of? It reminded me of this one movie, like this one character in the movie. I don't remember which one.
Like, just did not care. He just wanted food.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why he got taken away.
Well, he actually did get it. He actually did get food. So
he just wanted food.
Yeah. Yeah, and then okay, so I will say this though. Although I was unhappy with the voices of the monkey people at the time, I've sort of grown to like it later on, because as a dungeon master, I just sort of have to accept that once I speak as a character, it's just locked in. But on the other hand, any attempts I made to try and come up with an alternative voice failed. It's really hard to do it when it's very important to get like the historical stuff right. So I'm like, I'm not going to try. I'm just going to stick with what I did in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I recall correctly, he trusted me the most.
Yes, you apparently were given an ancient tablet.
The tablet of the old.
Yeah, you got that. And
I love that tablet. That was cool.
Yeah, you haven't used it in any other place though. This is the thing
because there's just not enough ancient objects.
Yeah, this is the thing about these items is that I give you guys all of these different inventory items, and with no like intention of them being reincorporated elsewhere, I actually want you guys to give it a shot to try and use these various items in places that you think they might be useful, because otherwise, what are we gonna do? You just have this thing.
I mean,
well,
I did that, but there was just no ancient objects around to use it with.
Oof. Yeah, I think I remember that one.
Did that happen? Where was that? Maybe it's a spoiler thing. I don't know.
There's just no objects.
I don't know. Like,
I've only gone to use it twice.
Yeah. Well, that was because it was specifically designed for this puzzle. Actually, the puzzle, as a reward for completing it, you stumbled upon a hovercraft.
A hovercraft.
And this is something that I had to tell everybody after the episode, because nobody realized it at the time.
Yeah, like in my mind during the episode, it was just like, what's a hovercraft doing here?
That vehicle is based on the one that... No, actually, it is the one from my like Jack 5 channel, my Ballistic NG video. That hovercraft that I spent ages modding into the game, creating from scratch.
I was like, oh my god.
I can just put it in wholesale. I don't have to change anything.
That was really cool.
Of course, what happens then is that there has to be a reason for it to be there, and I think I've got a reason, but I won't say anything.
Spoilers!
Yeah. Well, actually, you don't find out anything about it for a long time, so... Yeah.
Oh yeah, the drive all the way to Rockman's Land.
Yeah, tried doing the same thing where he was like, you know how in the desert he was sandboarding behind the Jeep.
Sandboarding.
He tried to do
he
the
decided
same.
He wanted to waterboard.
He tried to do the same thing. He tried to wakeboard, but the sea just ate his plank, and he was like gonna devour his legs. Yeah.
At the time, they didn't know.
Not the brightest idea.
He ate the sharpest tool.
Oh, I had that in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was looking kind of dumb with his finger in his thumb.
Shut up. Oh my goodness.
As the years start coming and don't stop coming. Hit the rules and hit the ground running.
Not when I'm drinking.
Hey, it didn't make sense not to live for fun.
Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb.
Oh, I missed out on a couple of things that Wolf wanted to say. So far I've said like notes that Glitch has, but here are some notes that Wolf has.
Ooh, let's hear them.
In episode 10, this is in response to the Spring Onion debacle. Wolf said that he wanted to explore and find any magical items he could to help with his own goal, which is for him to be the strongest spellcaster in his home realm or any realm he gets put in through the power of training.
Like no one ever was.
I don't know what a spring onion has to do with that, but okay.
What does a spring onion have to do with magic?
He's got to catch them all. Why else would a fucking spring onion grow in the middle of the tundra?
He's got to collect them all.
Oh my goodness, that gives me a stupid idea of like making the spring onion. What if the spring onion was one of the staps?
Do it, coward.
I'll think about it. Oh, where do I write this down?
Dear.
I guess, I'll write it down here. Okay.
Sticky notes.
There goes my box tower.
What?
Box tower? What?
Box tower?
I have a pile of empty boxes I'm supposed to throw away.
You just knocked them over?
I've just been playing stack 'em with them.
Okay. It's Tipper's fort.
Tipper's fort.
He builds a throne out of cardboard box. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
It would
what else
fit.
did he say?
Yeah, okay, so to round this off for the end of all this, he says that he's hopeful everyone lives to see their goals achieved. Keyword lives. That's what he put in.
I don't think we're going to be living.
Hey, look, we're currently surviving. That's about as good as it gets.
Especially after you guys just washed up on the concrete continent.
Yeah, faith before fear.
You've got a lot ahead of you. Yeah.
What episode we're on? We're on episode 11 right now.
We just got to the end of episode 11 talking about this, and we're filming this after episode 16. We film these after parties like later on in the timeline, so there's gonna be points where we accidentally bring up spoilers and stuff, you know?
Yeah. Damn. We're really far.
Yeah, okay, so the reason why we are is because it took a bit of time for me to get the channel started, and also episode 9 episode 9 was a nightmare to edit. So yeah, that's why things are a bit delayed. But yeah, we got to the end of episode 11. Well, I guess what are like some closing remarks that we all have? Just things that we want to bring up.
Never leave him and Gary in a room.
That is true. Yeah, I think that in the future, whenever that has the possibility of happening, you should make absolutely sure that they are never together. They cannot be partnered up with each other because you know what will happen.
The biggest, funnest chaos imaginable that Jack has to deal with because he's the DM and everyone gets to watch back with popcorn.
Yes. Oh,
Pretty much.
man.
Honestly, there's one important thing that I learned.
Mm-hmm.
Never walk away from team. Otherwise, that Undertaker is there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, no. So the thing about the Undertaker is that was just because you rolled bad. Whereas actually walked away in episode 10, and because of that, he was in this fast food restaurant when it blew up.
I honestly thought it was just going after me.
And Gary walking away from the team in episode 6, he went into the incinerator. That was a whole debacle of itself, wasn't it? And of course, the only people that have walked away from the team have been the two that caused the most problems. So
mine was on accident.
No, you were you rolled bad. That was it. Because I was planning for the Undertaker to happen there. It's just that I needed somebody to roll bad, and you rolled bad.
Okay.
Yeah. So no fault of yours. That was yeah. Now, there is something that happens between now and episode 12, but I'm not going to talk about that because I think it's brought up in episode 12 at the start when Gary returns. So that'll be when we talk about that. But yeah,
Gary returns.
Gary returns. Yes, I would hate to just go several episodes without one of you guys. I mean, I guess if you go on holiday or something, I guess it's inevitable. But yeah, I want the whole gang to be together. And if somebody's going to leave, they've got to have a reason to come back,
And we've been pretty lucky so far.
Yeah. So, given all that, how do we all feel about interp'd reality so far?
Yes, it's a very fun experience.
I know.
There's so much more to do.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons. Don't forget, Critical Role just finished their last campaign, and that took them 4 years.
I have news for you, Zero. We'll probably be doing this for several years. Interp'd reality is now my current main channel. I'm not going to be posting on Jack 5 for a while. Yeah. But hey,
it's the passion project.
It's a passion project, definitely.
Started last year, starting this year.
I am doing this just to have fun because of course when you start a new channel
okay. don't get me wrong. This is great.
Yeah.
But several years is a long time.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we don't really have a plan for when it's going to end, and also
there is so much build up.
Yeah, and Sweet Cookie wants to do a campaign of her own as well.
Which I've already made a character.
Okay, Major, thank you.
We get it.
Like, we've heard this so many times at this point.
In terms of my campaign, that's still not even ready to be baking in the oven yet. It's barely even mixed all in together.
Like the lasagna right now.
Oh yeah,
hey,
she's making lasagna. Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
Yeah. So we've got a long way to go, and to you listeners, thank you so much for sticking around. We really appreciate it. Subscriptions, likes, comments, all of that will just keep us... Oh, and Discord server. Join our Discord server. All of that will help us just know that our passion is translating to other people. You know what I mean?
Yes, and on that bombshell, it's back to the studio. Thank you so much for watching.
Yep. You want to do it? You want to do it, Major?
Yeah, sure. All right. And on that terrible disappointment, it's time to end it there. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you keep up to date with hitting that bell notification. Anyways, it's time to end it there. On that bombshell.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. I'll see you all next time on the Interp Reality or the Afterparty, one of the two. Bye-bye, guys. See ya.
Bye-bye.